Are you a TPT seller that sees your sales start to go down around testing and after testing time? And are you thinking, I need to find a way to boost my sales during the end of April and through the month of May? Well, then this video might just be for you. And if you stick around to the end, I have an idea for a resource that you might be able to create or use as a springboard to create some resources that might sell at the end of the year. Hello everyone, my name is Sherry from Rolling Acres Education. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first time. And I've heard a lot of teacher sellers say that in April and May their sales start to dwindle off, and the exact opposite is for me. I actually have an increase in my sales during the later part of April, and May is one of my best months at all. And I'm not saying it's because I have the greatest products, it's because of the type of products I have. I think there's some things that your product should have if you really want to see some sales at the end of the year. And there are 6 things that I think your product should include if you want to really create a great product that teachers are looking for at the end of the year. Now, this is based on my experience. I could be totally wrong, but I do have a lot of sales in April, and in May, I sell crazy things. I sell Halloween resources, I sell Christmas, Easter. I mean, at the end of the year, people are just buying anything. And so these are the 6 things that my resources have that I think are what teachers are looking for at the end of the year. So let's jump into them. And number 1 is that it is no prep. And I think this is the big one. I think that this is the main thing teachers are looking for at the end of the year. They want something that they don't have to prep for, because they are doing inventory. They are doing getting ready for end of the year activities. They are doing, not only class inventory, but book inventory. They're getting permanent records ready to go to the next teacher. And I was in 8th grade, we had to get them ready to go to the high school. And they're having to do discipline reports and getting final grades in. And just, I could go on and on and on about the things that teachers have to do at the end of the year. And they don't have time to lesson plan. Heck, they don't have time to lesson plan during the year. They especially don't have time to lesson plan at the end of the year. So they want something that is no prep, that they're not going to have to spend time outside of class getting that ready to go. So that's number 1. Number 2 is print and go. Now, that to me is not the same thing as no prep. It may be, but in my mind, I'm thinking that no prep is what you do before the lesson. Print and go is kind of like you print it, you hand it out to the students, and they do it. Or load and go. If you do digital products, the teacher would load it in whatever program they use, and the kids would find it and they would just do it. Okay, so no prep and print and go are 2 big things that I really think teachers are looking for at the end of the year. Number 3 is engaging. Okay, classroom behavior can be really a little bit out of control at the end of the year. And I don't know about you, but I don't get teachers who just watch movies, because to me that was worse. Now, I had middle school students, and you don't want to watch a movie with the lights on. But with middle school students, you don't want to watch a movie with the lights off. So I was just like, we're not watching movies. And then you had, oh, I don't want to watch this. Can I do something else? And then the lights are out. What are they going to do? And I was just like, no movies. We're doing this. I'm in control. So, you want something that the students will enjoy, but they're also, staying busy. And number 4, instructional. You want them to be learning something. And this is a great opportunity to teach those things that you can't teach during the year because there's not time. There are a lot of fun things that students can learn, things that they would be interested in, and you could even do a poll before the end of the year to see what kind of things would you all like to learn about after, and then they feel some ownership and they feel like they're making some choices, and that helps, because then you can say, this is what y'all voted on, this is what you're doing. So you still want it to be instructional, but it can be fun instructional. It can be interesting things. It can be things the students want to learn about. It can be real world things, whatever. Number 5 is differentiation, because if you're just handing it out, you want to make sure that the students can do it. And so you want to have choices, or, easier and harder, or differentiation could just be that you have, everybody doing the same thing. But if someone gets finished early, you have other things for them to do, which is number 6, and that is fast finishers. So you want something that's no prep, something that's print and go, something that's engaging and still instructional. You have some differentiation, and you have a lot of fast finishers. And if you have those, I think that you could sell some products at the end of the year, especially if they're, quality products. So would you rather activities seem to be really popular, and for me, I never really understood why, because they're just so quick. I mean, like, you do this list of would you rathers, you hand them out to the students, and they do them. So I kind of, I could see why people like them, but I thought, that's not enough. So I started expanding on them. So for instance, I might have someone, there was one, and my VA helped me do this one, so I have to give her credit. She was like, would you rather be a snow globe for the day? And I'm sorry, I forgot what she said the other one was, but it was two things. And then there was a writing assignment. If you chose to be a snow globe, write a narrative about what your day would be like, or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but the point was we took one of the would you rather answers and developed it into a writing prompt. One time I had them do sentences, like take each one you chose and write a sentence. There was some other things we did. I did color by answers, okay? Like if you chose this, color this color. And that's part of what we're going to talk about here in just a minute. And so I started developing these would you rather activities and expanding on them and having them be a little more. And people seem to like them. So here's a way you can take a would you rather activity, combine it with end of the year review, and make a resource that I think teachers, if they could find it, would be interested in. So the first thing you're going to do is choose 2 designs, and they need to be designs that the colors don't matter. I mean, like you can still do animals, but have you seen these? They have animals and they have like maybe flowers on them or designs on them or something. You want something that is going to be, the color does not matter. And so you're going to have 2 designs that can be converted into a color by number, and that's the first question. Would you rather color design A or design B? Number 2, you're going to take and come up with, if you're doing 8 questions, and that's kind of, would you rather cut around 8, then you're going to need 16 different types of problems. I'm going to use math as an example. I'll try to throw some others in here in a minute, but let's start with math. So you're going to have the first question, would you rather do a systems of equation or a Pythagorean theorem? Lower grades, would you rather do a fraction or a decimal problem? And you give them all these choices, and so you're going to have to come up with 16 different types of problems and give them choices for those, and they get to choose which problem they want to do, and then they're going to do that problem. Then you're going to give them column A and column B. If for number 1 you chose column A, you're going to color your design number 1 this color. Number 2, if you chose B, you're going to color number 2 this color. And you go down and you're going to give them the opportunity to choose what kind of problems they want to do and then to color something afterwards. Now, differentiation for this is you could create 2 different sets of problems and make one set easier than the other. Or, this is kind of going to take a long time, but if you have somebody that just really gets done, you say, congratulations, your reward for getting finished is to turn over and do the other side and do the other problems. So, you could put a little bit of differentiation in there, but I definitely, would want to think about creating 2 sets of problems. Science, you could say, do you want to do you want to label a animal cell or label a plant cell? For English language arts, you could say, do you want to write a haiku or write a one paragraph on, whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to think things off my head. I'm not doing a very good job. But if you teach these things, you can come up with stuff. So that's just an idea. You're going to have, the teacher's going to be no prep because you've already made up the problems. You've already found all that stuff. The teacher's not going to have to make up any problems. They're not going to have to do anything. You're going to have them an answer key. And so, which most of them at the end of the year, they're probably not going to check it anyway, but the kids don't have to know that. So they don't have to prep. They don't have to teach because this is review. And so that's another good reason to have 2 sets so that the teacher can decide which ones they think are the most appropriate for the class. You could even look, if you do multiple grades, and again, guys, this might take a bit of time to create. But heck, with AI today, you can give me, AI can make your problems for you. So, if you do several levels, you could just do a bunch of questions and just say, here's question set A, question set B, and all that, so that the teachers can choose whichever questions they want to use to go along with the designs and all that. And so I think you get an idea of what I'm saying here, because this is not to give you an exact product, but to give you an idea of something you can do that is no prep, is print and go, has some instructional value, which review is instructional, okay? Number 4, I think it's engaging, and the kids get choice. They always like choices. And I would make them easy, okay? Not easy, but I wouldn't, I'd make them to where the kids can do them pretty easily. Because at the end of the year, you want them to just, and I think that's good. If it's easy, they're building those skills. Number 5, you want some differentiation. And number 6, some fast finishers, okay? And again, if they finish, they can do the other side, or, you can put other fast finishers in there. I put several different kinds of fast finishers in mine. But this is just to give you an idea of something you can do at the end of the year. I hope you can use this, and, or at least think of get that idea of that it'll give you a springboard to something else. And just remember that you've got this, God's got you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.